Hi, my name is Danielle Semino. I'm a district manager and independent consultant with Arbonnes International, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little backstory on me as we go through this happy, healthy hour about our 30-day clean eating challenge tonight. And one of them is just my own personal testimony with the program. To give you a little backdrop on myself, I have suffered with stomach issues since I was a child. My parents had many tests ran on me. The doctors could never figure out what was wrong with me. I had everything from I would throw up randomly several mornings in a week. I missed the bus a lot in kindergarten because I would be throwing up and my mom would have to drive me in later. To constant constipation or extreme pain. I remember being like 12 or 13 and my parents thinking I had appendicitis because I was in so much pain in my stomach. And the doctors could never figure out what exactly was wrong. And then I kind of went through this with my life. We did different things from like a bland diet. So everything I ate was canned and cooked. So it was the easiest for my body to digest. Down to, just, I don't know, looking for other alternatives that never seemed to work. And then in high school, I did some volunteer work, still suffered with it on and off. And a lot of it was like lack of sleep and stress related for me at the time. And I didn't know that. And then I got married and I started having kids. I had my first daughter, who is now 5. But then when she was about 2 though, she started showing the same symptoms as I did. She started throwing up randomly in the morning on me. She started having more diarrhea or constipation. She was never like regular and she always seemed to have some kind of issue. And she also had these rashes. And right about that time, she was 2. I had just had our second. At the time, she was about a month old when all this started, and I knew something had to change. I knew this is not normal. No kid should have to go through this. No child should live like this. And I was still suffering. I kind of hit my peak point too. I was the worst I'd ever been in my life. There was a period of about 3 months, I think, where we thought either I was going to be in the hospital because of it, or I was pregnant because I was sick all the time, every day on the couch. And I remember my oldest at the time, who was 2, like I said, would come up to me and she'd be like, "Mommy, you sick again?" Because that's the sight she was used to seeing. She was used to seeing Mommy laying on the couch and sick. And I didn't like her having that image of me. I didn't want to be that mom that was always sick and I couldn't keep up with my kids and play with them and take them to the library. So my friend introduced me to the 30-day clean eating challenge because we had already eliminated gluten and dairy out of our diets, which helped my daughter a ton, but I still had issues. They weren't completely cleared up, and it was enough that I wasn't about to go back on dairy and gluten, but I still knew something was different. Something still had to change. So my friend introduced me to the program, and my husband was like, "Do it, jump in, do whatever you have to do to figure this out because you can't keep living like this." Because I had tests ran, I had GIs looking up every which way into my system, trying to figure out what was wrong. And they're like, "Oh, there's just some inflammation. There's nothing wrong." So I was like, all right, I'm going to take this into my own hands. So I did the 30-day clean eating challenge. And honestly, the first 3 weeks were hell on earth for me, which is not normal for most people. Usually like 3 or 4 days when they're coming off the caffeine or the sugar high is like the worst days for them. But for me, because my system was so bombarded by years of damage from food that I'd been eating that was sabotaging it, it took me 3 weeks to fully detox. And then by week 4, like the sun came out and I was like, this is how I'm meant to feel. This is how a normal person feels. And I was like, this is life-changing for me. And during that program is when I really realized how much gluten and dairy was sabotaging my system, but also some other triggers like soy and grains, whole grains was another trigger for me. So it wasn't just a weight loss program. It wasn't anything like that for me. I was actually trying not to lose weight, but it was a health journey for me to figure out how to best feed my body, which is what this program is all about. It is really about learning and discovering how your body works and how to give it the proper nutrients that it needs And I think this program is awesome for that. I think it helps a lot of people discover, foods that might be harming their body a lot more than they think. That it might be a trigger for a health issue. It might be a trigger for weight gain, whatever it may be. People figure this out. And I love the program just because it teaches people what clean eating is about, and that you can make it a lifestyle, and it's not like you're never going to eat ice cream again, or you're never going to have a cupcake, but it teaches you that everything in moderation. You can eat healthy and still enjoy a cupcake at your daughter's birthday party, or whatever it may be like. And I love it because it has been a family lifestyle change for my whole family. And it's something that we continue to enjoy because this is not the way I grew up eating. This is not the way I grew up cooking either. I like to tell people that I grew up on, meat and potatoes, mac and cheese, pizza, you name it, we had it. Kool-Aid, tons of sugar. I used to actually dip my strawberries into sugar, and now strawberries taste amazing to me just the way they are. So little things like that aren't a sacrifice at all, that your body learns to adapt and take how it's supposed to be. And you'll be amazed at how much energy you get from just eating clean. Like when your body is functioning properly how it's supposed to, you have so much energy, you sleep better because your body's not constantly trying to catch up or trying to digest all the crappy food that you eat constantly. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Please ask lots of questions. I will do my best to answer them. I've done the program 4 times now. I did it my first time. I did it twice while pregnant during my last pregnancy, and a 4th time after my pregnancy. So I've done it in all stages of life. So I will do my best again to answer any questions you guys have. And I really thank you guys for taking the time to join us tonight and learn a little bit more about this program.